back on the Web Insurance Countdown to Kickoff on 1150 WIMA, our roundtable segment, part 2. We start doing some picks, and Mike Miller is with us now. Also, Jeremy Schneider from the Lima News. Of course, Doug is out on maternity leave, as it were, but he did have the wherewithal to send me his picks through an email.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, he says he wants to maintain his lead.
You know, if you're not here, I'm not sure we care.
Well, he's picking in abstentia.
All right.
How about that? Let's get right to the Sage picks. Well, let's start with tomorrow's game. T-Birds, Jeff Katz, Stadium Park. Who you got, Jeremy?
I think you got to go LCC. I mean, like we said in the previous spot, was the defenses are about even. I think the edge has to go to LCC on offense with O'Connor at quarterback.
Mikey?
Pretty hard to argue with that. I will say from a personal standpoint, I go well back to when Kevin Fell got the whole Jefferson program really geared up in the late 1970s, and that's when I cut my teeth doing high school football. But from a logical standpoint, I agree with Jeremy. T-Birds will end the Jefferson unbeaten run here in 2009.
You know what? I think this is a very good LCC team. Yeah. I think that Week 1 close call with St. John's really showed us how good they were. Yeah. I think they've gotten a lot better. Yeah. Losing Royster will set them back some, but I still think they've got more than enough for Jefferson.
The good news is over at Stadium Park with that fabulous new addition to the visitors side seating.
Actually get some T-Bird fans in there.
All you T-Birds fans, don't hesitate. Head for Delphus. There's plenty of seats.
Maybe one day they'll get field turf in there instead of the mud, as it turns out to be every November.
Actually, they do have field turf now all along the sideline areas.
That does help.
Well, it helps a lot. It's a great effect.
Let's go to the WBL. Our broadcast game tonight is Shawnee at Bath. Last week I picked Elida, and they completely fell apart. I have no intention of picking Bath. I'm going with Shawnee tonight.
Right there with you. There's no way I'm going to pick against Shawnee this week. They got something rolling last week, and it's not going to stop this week.
I like what I've seen of Bath. Of course, I saw them a few weeks ago, but based on Coach Miller's comments from a little bit earlier, Todd, that we heard, he's not happy how their offense has really kind of hit the skids, frankly, their abilities to move the ball. And if they get locked down by this big, tough Shawnee defense, they're in deep trouble tonight. I think they're in deep trouble. We have to go with Shawnee.
And kudos to Shawnee for mentally staying focused after those 3 gut-wrenching losses. They went to Elida last week and just really whipped them. And that was impressive.
I will say, I'm not going to give them too much props, though, because Shawnee and Elida is like vinegar and water. There was no way they were going to overlook that game with Elida.
Well,
they don't like Elida.
And it maybe acted as a bloodletting. You know, I mean, I think all the frustrations from the first 3 weeks kind of came out on the Bulldogs. And like you said, they weren't going to let up because it was the Bulldogs.
Bingo. Absolutely. Our other game we're picking in the WBL tonight, Defiance at St. Mary's. This is a very important game. Defiance cannot afford another loss. They want to keep pace, catch Kenton by beating them later. St. Mary's has yet to taste defeat in league play. Jeremy, I'm going with Defiance. I think Defiance is pretty good. I think St. Mary's is okay, but I just think Defiance is better.
I still got to go with St. Mary's, and it's going to sound stupid, but like I said earlier, it's all about the home field. I think this game is that close. It comes down to a handful of plays, and when you come down to those handful of plays, it does help to be on your own home turf, and that's why I take St. Mary's. It's going to be a great game.
Right. You're wrong, Jeremy. It's Defiance all the way in this game. I think they might crush St. Mary's, actually. Defiance has a lot of weapons offensively, and they're still shaking their head. They can't figure out how they lost to Ottawa Glandorf, frankly. That's how good I think Defiance is. I think their 2 touchdowns were more better than St. Mary's. I really do.
And we move on as we continue with the Web Insurance Countdown to kickoff. We move into the Midwest Athletic Conference. Marion Local at St. Henry tonight. This is a tough one to pick, but I think I'm going with St. Henry. I think they're figuring some things out. Big win last week against Versailles. Marion Local, maybe some injury problems. Took it on the chin last week. It's at St. Henry. I'm going with the Redskins.
You got a quarter? Because, I mean, that's honestly what it comes down to.
Flip it.
As close as the Defiance St. Mary's game is, this game's even closer. And just to be contrarian to Todd, and I'm sure, maybe Mike, I'm going to go with Marion Local, just to be the different guy.
Jeremy, once again, you're dead wrong on this
there
one.
we go.
Man.
Yes.
God bless your DeSales Broncos, but I'm telling you, St. Henry might crush Marion Local tonight. Marion Local is injured, as Todd mentions. They're a young football team. This is all about St. Henry's year. They're the veteran team, and the home cooking at the Wally Post complex seals the deal for me. I like Jeff Starkey and the Redskins again by 2 touchdowns or more.
Is it possible for a team in the MAC to go 4-0 and be completely overlooked? Because I think St. Henry has been completely overlooked, but they have been under the radar.
How about Anna at Coldwater? Both these teams are 4-0. Anna is kind of under the radar as well, but they're getting into the big part of their schedule tonight, Mike.
I'm going for an upset tonight, guys. I think Anna is unfairly under the radar. They've got so many offensive weapons that no less than John Reed himself says he thinks Anna's the best team in the MAC, and until his guys can prove otherwise, he really is respectful of Anna. And I just think Anna's got the weapons. They're going to outscore Coldwater in a close game and surprise everybody tonight.
I have no problem with Anna. I think they're a very good football team and a good football program, deserving their inclusion in the MAC some years ago. I just think John Reed's doing Lou Holtz here. I mean, the Cavaliers put it together last week, and I don't see them losing tonight.
Mike, once again, I got to tell you, you are completely dead wrong. No offense, you're out of Bill Big Green, and I'm not a DeSales guy. I'm a Hartley Hawk.
Oh, that's right.
You always get that wrong. But anyways, no, it's Coldwater. I mean, what they showed last week against Marion Local, my goodness, that's a juggernaut.
We don't have Hartley on our predictions. Luckily, we'd have to pick the Hawks, right?
They come up here next week. They're playing at Grove
next
week.
They are, no doubt.
That's awesome.
How about St. John's hosting Versailles? I got a feeling I know everybody's going to go here. The Jays, to me, look as nearly unstoppable as you can be. Delphus St. John's, I think, wins this one easily.
It's hard to go against the 6-time state champion Versailles Tigers, but it's the Blue Jays all the way.
Yeah,
St. John's, nothing else needs to be said.
So they had 70 last week. They might get to what, 40 or 50 this week?
No. Versailles is on the comeback with their program. They'll beat Versailles by 2 touchdowns or more. They're not going to drub Versailles. There's no way.
Yeah, I think they'll beat them by at least 4 touchdowns. You want to put a point spread on it?
I think I'll split the difference and say 3 touchdowns.
Okay. By the way, Jenkins' picks via the email were LCC, Shawnee, Defiance, Coldwater, St. John's, Marion Local.
I like his Defiance pick. I don't like his
I'm the only one
pick.
to go St. Mary's.
You are the only one.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for our pick segment. The Web Insurance Countdown to Kickoff. Also on our video stream on 1150WIMA.com. Mike, Jeremy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
Good
Todd.
as always.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with some coaches. We've got Mark Hollers from St. Mary's. We've got Todd Schulte from St. John's and Darnell Collins from Lima Senior. It's all coming up on 1150 WIMA.